Welcome to our channel, the fastest, hottest and most dramatic update of the latest episodes of the movie Beyond the Gates. Every story, every secret revealed here will make you hold your breath in shock, be thrilled by surprise, and unable to take your eyes off the unpredictable twists. Let's explore with us a haunting development. When the truth is not only hidden but also buried in despair, and when the disease not only kills the body but also crushes the soul of a person. In the most chaotic and stressful moment. When everything is out of control, Nicole's test results are sent, like a fatal stab to her already broken psychology. That fragile piece of paper contains information that makes everything around her collapse. Nicole's personal doctor, after a thorough examination, confirmed that she had a rare disease. A dangerous neurological disorder that current medicine has yet to completely cure. This disease not only directly threatens her physical health but also silently attacks her mind, increasing the risk of severe memory loss, accompanied by increasingly obvious signs of mental disorder, especially hallucinations, paranoia, and loss of emotional control. Nicole was stunned when she heard that conclusion. She felt the whole world around her spinning, everything she had built, everything she had tried to preserve was on the brink of collapse. The medical career that she had spent her youth pursuing, the years of hard work in the classroom, the shifts lasting dozens of hours, all could go up in smoke because of this disease. Not only that, her marriage was also seriously threatened. She knew that if the truth was exposed, the husband she loved would look at her differently, no longer as a strong, rational and successful woman, but only as a weak, unstable, vulnerable and unreliable woman. Fear surrounded Nicole's mind every second and minute. She did not allow herself to fall. And even more so, did not allow anyone to know about this serious medical condition. She decided to hide everything, burying the terrifying truth deep in her mind, as if it had never existed. But her illness did not stop, on the contrary, it got worse and worse. The initial symptoms appeared silently but cruelly. Nicole began to have difficulty remembering small details at work. Sometimes she forgot the names of patients, forgot important appointments, things that had never happened to her before. Not stopping there, the manifestations of mental disorders began to appear quietly but terrifyingly. First were fleeting hallucinations, distorted images, and whispering sounds of unknown origin that echoed in her head during times of extreme stress. Nicole repeatedly reassured herself that it was just due to work pressure and lack of sleep. But deep inside, she knew clearly what the real cause was. The fear grew, but Nicole still tried to cover it all up. She continued to put on the perfect facade of a successful, confident, and strong female doctor in front of her colleagues and relatives. But inside her mind was a dark and chaotic area that was spreading more and more. She lived in fear of being discovered. Fear of medical mistakes that could happen at any time, fear of the moments when she lost control of herself in the middle of the hospital or in her own home. The disease was like a cruel countdown clock, eroding Nicole's memory and sanity every second. The dizziness and severe headaches came more frequently. Sometimes, she found herself standing in front of a mirror but could no longer recognize her reflection. The gaps in her memory grew larger and larger, the small details of her daily life became unfamiliar. Sometimes she couldn't remember why she was in a certain place, or forgot conversations that had happened just a few minutes ago. Nicole knew that everything was getting out of control. But her survival instinct and professional pride made her continue to live in that dangerous lie. She refused intensive treatment, refused to tell the truth to anyone, even her husband. She was afraid that if he knew, he would leave her, her career would be ruined, her reputation would collapse, and she would be looked upon with pity and contempt by the whole society. But the truth cannot be hidden forever. The symptoms of loss of control become more and more serious. During an important medical meeting, Nicole suddenly forgot all the content that needed to be presented, her eyes were blank, her voice trembled, making all her colleagues surprised. During the night shifts, she began to hear voices echoing in the empty hallways, unreal sounds, and figures appearing and disappearing, making her extremely confused. The illness gradually pushed Nicole to the brink of collapse. Panic attacks and extreme anxiety appeared frequently. She felt that she could no longer control her emotions, easily getting angry, angry for no reason, or sinking into hopeless depression. Sometimes, she completely lost her direction, could not distinguish between reality and fantasy, could no longer remember who she was, what she was doing, where she was. Desperate and at a dead end, Nicole still did not give up her resilient shell. She struggled to cope with the disease, facing the pressure of work while trying to hide her condition from the increasingly prying eyes. However, people around her began to notice the unusual behavior and mentality. Whispers behind her back and suspicious looks appeared more and more at the hospital where she worked. Nicole was increasingly pushed into isolation, and those who were once close to her gradually kept their distance because they were worried that her instability would affect their patients and reputation. Meanwhile, the relationship between her and her partner also began to crack. He noticed a clear change in his wife but did not understand the cause. Nicole became irritable, often forgot the simplest things in daily life. Sometimes she even sat quietly for hours in a dark room, her eyes blank, not reacting to anything around her. Doubt and distance made the distance between the two of them grow wider. Nicole knew that if she continued to hide, she would not only lose her career but also lose the man she loved the most. However, the fear of being abandoned and judged as crazy made her not have the courage to face the truth. She sank deeper into the quagmire of hallucinations, paranoia, broken memories and prolonged panic attacks. Her health condition was getting worse, signs of dementia were obvious, but Nicole stubbornly refused all specialized medical help. She believed that as long as she kept her spirit strong, she would be able to control herself. But the reality was more cruel than she thought. The pounding headaches, the times of forgetting memories, the terrifying illusions and the disorientation made Nicole unable to distinguish what was real and what was the product of a sick mind. She lived in an invisible cage, imprisoned in patchwork memories, distorted images, and endless nightmares. Her career was crumbling day by day. Her relationship with her husband was at a standstill, her friends were shunned, her colleagues were suspicious. Nicole felt like the whole world had turned its back on her. But she stubbornly hid everything, refused to give up, refused to admit that she was losing her mind and sanity. That rare disease not only destroyed her body but also crushed Nicole's spirit day by day. She became a prisoner in her own body and mind, imprisoned by chaotic memories, horrifying hallucinations and the fear of being exposed. But Nicole still chose to stay silent, fighting desperately, because she knew that if the truth was exposed, everything she had ever tried to build would collapse, and she would forever be labeled as crazy, out of control, no longer worthy of anyone or anything. Thank you for watching until the end of the video. If you are fascinated by Nicole's haunting story and don't want to miss any of the next shocking developments of Beyond the Gates, please follow and subscribe to our channel today. Each of your subscriptions is the motivation for us to continue bringing the most attractive and unique content. Don't forget to turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any dramatic moments.